Alright, welcome to my video for the 9.5 extension. We will get to the 9.5 extension in a little bit, but first I want us to review everything that we've learned for Chapter 9. So first up, in the first section of Chapter 9, we learned how to find the surface area of a rectangular prism. And if you look at your notes packet, you'll find the formula is 2 times length times width plus 2 times length times height plus 2 times width times height. So if I have this shape here, length, width, and height, I would do 2 times 6 times 14 plus 2 times 6 times 3 plus 2 times 14 times 3. So the volume of, the surface area of that prism would be, let me calculate it, 2 times 6 times 14 gives me 168. 2 times 6 times 3 gives me 36. And 2 times 14 times 3 gives me a surface area of 84. So when I add those three parts together, you should get 288 millimeters squared. Again, that is the type of shape that you're going to need to know how to find the surface area of on the test coming up on Friday. Second shape, and this is a shape that typically students struggle with the most, a triangular prism. So remember, you have a triangle here and on the top, and then you have rectangles going all around the outside. So the general formula that we came up with was first to find the area of the big rectangle going around. Well, that is the perimeter of this triangle here. So the perimeter of the triangle there would be plus 10 plus 16. The perimeter of the triangle would be 36. Then I would times that by the height of each of those triangles, which would be 8. So the first part I get for the triangle going around, 288 inches squared. Now I'm going to add to that the area of the triangles on top and bottom. Well, you know the triangle is base times height divided by 2, but since there are 2 of them, it's just going to be base times height, which is 16 times 6, which gives me 96. Well, then when I add those two parts together, the total surface area of this shape should be 384 inches squared. All right, next shapes are pyramids. And to find the surface area of these pyramids, first you got to find the area of the bottom, and then find the area of one of the triangular faces, and then multiply how many triangular faces there are going around. So I'm going to start with this one. So you can see the base is a square, and you can see that the triangle has a base of 4 and a height of 6. So I'm going to do 4 times 6 divided by 2. The area of one of those triangles would be 12, but then I times it by how many triangles are going around, and in this one there are 4 of them because it's a square triangle. Then I am going to multiply by the area of the base, which again is a square, so 4 times 4, which is 16. So the total surface area for this shape would be 64 meters squared. This shape is a triangular pyramid. You can see that the triangular base is different from the triangles going around it. So the triangles going around it would have a base of 9 and a height of 14. So 9 times 14 divided by 2, that gives me 63. And then there are 3 triangles going around in this one. So the triangles going around would total 189. Plus the area of the base. In this base, it would be 9 times 7.8 divided by 2, because that's how you find the area of a triangle. That gives me 35.1. So then I add those two parts together, I get a total surface area of 224.1 yards squared. All right, surface area of a cylinder. Remember, we have that formula, 2 pi r times r plus h. So first thing I'm going to do is add the radius plus height. So that's going to give me 6 plus 7, which is 13. Then 2 times 3.14 times my radius times that answer. So 2 times 3.14 times 6 times 13, that gives me a total surface area of 489.84 meters squared. Second one's a little bit trickier because I actually need the radius, which would be 1.2 for this one. So then 1.2 plus the height of 5 gives me 6.2. Then it would be 2 times 3.14 times 1.2 times 6.2. 2 times 3.14 times 1.2 times 6.2 gives me a total surface area of 46.7232. They would probably want you to round that one, but it doesn't say to round it, so I'm just going to keep that answer. All right, next up is the volume of prisms. Remember, the basic formula for volume of a prism is the area of the base times height. Well, in the first one here, the base is a rectangle. So the area of that rectangle would be 6 times 7, which is, of course, 42. And I times that by the height of 5, which gives me a total volume of 210 inches cubed. Now, the second one here is actually sitting wrong. It should be sitting on this triangle right there, because that's the triangular, that is the base. So to find the area of that base, I would do 9 times 6 divided by 2, because it's a triangle. Then I would times that by the height of 13, which gives me a total volume of 351 centimeters cubed. All right, next up is a pyramid. Remember, the basic formula is area of the base times height divided by 3 when we're talking about a pyramid. So for this one, my base here is a triangle. So to find the area of that triangle, I would do 6 times 7 divided by 2. So the area of that base is 21. I would times that by the height of 12, but then divide that by 3 because I have a pyramid here, and that means that pyramid would hold 84 yards cubed. All right, so next up is the 9.5 extension. And we were talking about cross sections of three-dimensional figures. So consider a plane slicing through a solid. The intersection of the plane and the solid is a two-dimensional shape called a cross section. For example, the diagram shows that the intersection of the plane and the rectangular prism is a rectangle. Now, in class, we would watch a couple of videos, which basically shows you how this happens in real life. Well, a lot of times in Wisconsin, we have hunks of cheese that we slice into slices, so we know that the resulting slices are sometimes squares, sometimes rectangles. This video actually kind of shows you like a ninja slicing through different shapes. So if you would slice through a pyramid like this, the resulting shape would be a triangle. All right, so example 1 says describe the intersection of the plane and the solid. So if you look at A, if that plane slices through this pyramid right there, the resulting shape is going to be a triangle. If this plane slashes through this solid, that shape right there is going to be a rectangle. If this plane slices through this triangular prism, it is going to leave me with the shape of a triangle. All right, you can pause the video and answer each of those on your own. All right, the first one would obviously be a triangle. B would actually be a square because the plane is slicing through a cube, and so the resulting shape would be a square. Now, this one is a triangular prism, so you might have been thinking of triangle, but because it's slicing through in that direction, the resulting shape is actually going to be a rectangle because of where it is slicing through on that shape. Example 1 shows how a plane intersects a polyhedron. Now consider the intersection of a plane and a solid having a curved surface, such as a cylinder or a cone. As shown, a cone is a solid that has one circular base and one vertex. So if my plane slices through a circular shape, that means the resulting shape here is going to be a circle. If this slices through here, that means your resulting shape is going to be a triangle. You can pause the video and do those two on your own. All right, if the plane slices through here, it would make a circle. If it passes through this sphere right there, that would make a circle as well. All right, you can open up bigideasmath.com and we'll get started on the first one. And it says describe the intersection of the plane and the solid. The intersection for this one would be a triangle. The intersection for this one, again, would be a triangle. And for this one, it would be a rectangle. And you can keep working on the rest of those on your own. Thanks for watching.